Hey everyone, so this is the second part of the video where we had created one production ready microservices with lots of features with proper documentation that you can get on the channel itself. I'll provide the link in the description box as well. Okay, so what was left from the part one, the basic things that were missed from there. So first thing is that there was one test case failure in the test service. We need to fix that. Code coverage was not that up to the mark. We'll try this again. There were no logs added into the system. We'll try to add the logs. We missed to execute the PyTest, that is the mutation testing, to check the code coverage part here. And data persistence into file system. H2 database was there, but at this point of time, if you restart your service, that data will get lost. And that we do not want that. We want to store that in the file system, so that even if I restart my application, we should be able to see that data. At last, I want to measure the static analysis of the code. Entire code is generated by the ChatGPT itself, right? So SonarLint is a tool that will do the static analysis of the code, and we'll see if there is any improvement in the code is needed or not. So we'll try that out. So let's go one by one. First, let's try to fix that was failing the test. So go to the project. So in here, this was the test case that was failing. You can see that red mark itself here. So what we will do, we will try to debug this one here, that will see what point it is failing. So I have some assertion was failing, but I was not able to figure out that what it is. So this is the actual call that is happening. So let's let it pass from here. So we'll see assertion one by one and we'll see which one it is failing. So go one by one. So first one is passed. Okay, good. All right, not null. Yeah, I think here it is creating problem. So let it pass. Console. Expected not null, but line number it should have given me 75. Yeah, from here itself I should have known that this is the problem that it is creating. So let's see, it is saying that updated product result should be not null. So where is this updated product result coming from? This is the place where it is coming from. So if you go here, update product, what is, so you basically have to see what it is returning. So it is giving here product repository dot save. It is returning whatever is save method is called, right? So you have to see what is the mock on the save method, product repository dot save any product calls, then it is going to return the updated product. So whatever is here, it is being written from the updated product result. So let's see, so if that is creating problem, that means the problem is here in this object here, updated product. So see, this date is problem. This was null, so how it will be there? Now if you try to execute this one, it will pass. So this was the only test case failing. We'll try to if it is fixed, we'll try the code coverage then. Yeah, it executed that properly, so it is passing. So now it's time we run our code coverage part again. So here what I have to do, command you already know, Gradle clean build. So if we execute this one, so let me show the build. When we trigger build, it automatically executes the test classes, and test I have configured it to finalize by Jacoco test report. So I don't have to run this command explicitly. It will be triggered automatically when test is executed. Okay, so by clean, it is going to clean all the existing classes that are there, and it will build from fresh. It can take a while to do that. So you see Jacoco test report task executed here. Test and this one. So refresh this part here. Come to build. Report section here and then Jacoco. Index.html and open this. Yeah, it is giving us 44% coverage. So we will examine one by one and let's see what we can do here. So come to DTO section here, product. So these are set ID, get, these have 100% coverage, but these are the methods. Can equal set ID to string hash code. So let's see the product class there. That is the problem with the Lombok. We have added this data annotation. So what is not needed, just do not add this one. Okay, so entity table no or all constructor, and we need the getter setter, right? So for that, have the getter setter annotation. The data at the rate data annotation adds equals methods and all sort of things that you see. We do not need these things, right? That is why it is spoiling our code coverage number. So this is fixed now. DTO controller, it had 71%. Let's see where we can improve. Get product by price range and get products by category. There are two for two things there are no so let's see for these two methods there are no test cases in our unit test or integration. They are not covered by that. So let's examine our product controller test. Get products by category, not this controller but controller test. Search for this, 0 result. That means in this controller class there were no test cases for this one. Price by category, there is nothing here, so we need to add the test cases of this one. Okay, so what we can do, we won't create it, but we will ask the ChatGPT to do this for us. Okay, so last we ended this console here, this ID. After the documentation, we'll start our discussion from there. So there are no test cases for I'm expecting that it should be able to see the code previously that it has given for me, and it is able to do that properly. So we just have to copy these test cases and what I have to do, because all other things are already there. So just copy these two test methods and product service, this product controller test, and this again it has this problem. Okay, it has long double, so date is there, so I have to, so even if it is giving me those things, it has product, so it is trying to add those products. So let me copy those products from the previous one just for simplicity. Even if it generated the code, but the product constructor, it is not able to pick that properly. And paste it here. So try to run these test cases. It should be passing. So in the meantime, let's see other coverage that were there. So product service, product controller, we fixed it. It should be 100% now. DTO also 100%. Service is already 95%. And this product service is the main class there, and exception. This product service application, we should be good with this one. There is no business logic here. Exception, invalid product exception. There is no test case for this one. So ask ChatGPT to do this also. This is the basically use case when there is invalid product exception, because that your code is throwing that somewhere, right? Invalid product data, do through this one. Yeah, we needed this only. So inside product controller itself, it has generated that. So what I have to do, yeah, it is passing here, right? So I just have to add product controller. So invalid product exception, import this class, add product, a response entity. The return type is the problem. Yeah, here it should be product. Yeah, all correct. So by this, it should be able to cover the invalid product exception as well. Come back to this again, and by this we should be good, and we should be having a proper more than 90% coverage now. So let's try this again. What I'll do, I will just trigger that command again, clean build. So there are lots of test cases actually. That is why this clean build command will take time. Okay, good. So the test case at last, I thought that it will pass, but it did not actually. So only one test is failing. So I can see the test result also, and see it has executed that Jacoco report. So let me see that as well. We'll figure out the failure in a while, but let's see if there is anything here. You see 95% code coverage now. Exception is also 100% here, because that is covered while execution. 95. This is the DTO is still 95%. One is missing. So let's see which one. Set ID is not there because that is not called anywhere. We are just setting it from the constructor, but that should be fine. Service here, we are able to see that one. and see the test result. That one case is failing now, so see what is the problem. Yeah, only one test case is failing. Invalid product exception. Yeah, that's what I was expecting, right? Okay, I got the problem here. I think this, because when you will call this one, it will give you an exception, right? So when you go to add product service, you do this part here. Add product. See, if there is not exception from here, so from where it is? Not this one. I'm missing something. Response entity, this one, invalid product exception when product service dot add product. Okay, product controller, add product, at the rate valid is there, so product service add product. Okay, product not found exception is there, so come to invalid exception. Actually this invalid exception is nowhere used. Is that the case? Yeah, that is the case. It is not used anywhere. It was created but not used anywhere, right? So what we can do, we can delete this exception altogether, or we can have this exception somewhere, right? So while what is the ideal place for this one? When you are adding the product and some validation is failing, and all that validation is in here now, right? So generated value, anything is coming, it will throw an exception for us, right? So that is why it is those exceptions are not explicitly here. So what I can do, this invalid product exception test case is not needed at all. What is the controller test? If I remove this one and come here, invalid product exception, there should be, yeah, no usage. Yeah, there is no usage of this one. Okay, so I can go ahead. It is so that's what we want to have the code coverage. It helps us to clean the code that is not in the scenarios, that is not needed at all. It's not about the code coverage, but dead code which is not being used, we can clean that up also. So now we have proper code coverage percentage with that removed. Okay, so see what next is there. So we fixed the test cases, we got the code coverage also. Let's see the logs part here. Come to ChatGPT and ask if there are no logs in the system. It is trying to edit the product controller. Logger factory, logger.info, product added successfully. It is going to print all the history that we need. But now there is problem it is doing. That product controller and all that stuff is there, so that see, by price range, it is interfering with that request param. Earlier it is a path variable. So this log information we are asking it very late. When it created at first instance, we should have asked this one that this log information is needed. So at this point of time, I cannot replace those things in here, right? Because that will be problematic, right? I can copy paste these logs that are here directly, but not the entire class file. Okay, so I'll do for this controller, add product, there is this annotation SLF4J because we have long book, so we should use this. So for this one, log variable is automatically added. So received request to add product. Okay. Similarly, it has interfered with the code also. That is not similar as well, right? You see here, maybe I did something wrong in prompting it, or it is doing something wrong because we had two contexts of the product microservices, right? Maybe that is why it is creating this problem. So if I should have asked it when first time it generated this one, so there might not have any problem. Okay, so but for now I have to add it manually. So what I'll do, update product, just pass the ID here, log.info, received request to get product for this ID, and received a request to delete. This is the delete request, right? And this is the get one. Received request to get all products. There is no variable. All products for category. For price range, so min max, update. So controller class I have added, so I want you to add the logs in the service class. So if you run your product controller now, in the console you will see these logs printed, so that information will be in your log system, that what is happening with the system. Till now we were not able to see that, right? So I hope you got this idea. I don't have to show this, right? So we added the logs. ChatGPT unfortunately was not able to help us here. Next is the PyTest. I want to see the test cases that it has generated, how it can help us. So come to ChatGPT again. I want to test the correctness of code coverage. So help me integrate mutation testing in the project. Yeah, it is giving the information about mutation testing and what I need to do. So PyTest plugin is here, 170. So I am doing this on video, that is, so there is some limitation of this chat GPT as well, right? So in terms of what information it has, like 170 it is giving, but it is the old information. Old information in the sense, and this is the configuration. This is also I need. Old information in the sense that it is not the latest version of the PyTest. I'll show you this in a while. So target classes, target tests. So let's see the PyTest PyTest official website now. Come to home page here, get started. Quick start, come here. We have Gradle quick start. So what I have to do, so just follow this link to integrate the PyTest. So latest version is 190. So I have to copy this and correct the version here. Okay, next thing is the configuration of the PyTest, because we are with the JUnit 5. So I have seen that it creates some problem. Our base package com code form product service. Okay, PyTest version 190, all that thing is correct. So JUnit 5, JUnit 5, with that I have to pass the JUnit 5 plugin version here. So you need to have the information, because I have tried it many times. That is why I know, and I'm able to fix this quickly. If you not do this one, follow along the chat GPT, you will have some problems and you have to debug that one. I suggest you do that so that you get the proper understanding. So just refresh it so that it is all the dependencies are downloaded properly here. Com code form product service. So make sure that this spelling mistake and all that is properly correct. So now what I have to do, I just have to run the Gradle PyTest. This will execute the test. It will execute. So how mutation testing works and what is this, there is a detailed video on the channel. Go ahead and search for that. You will get, this is quite interesting concept. When you have everything automated, we are going to rely the codes generated from the some tools that are out there. So this is going to be quite interesting. So 3 mutation tests in pre-scan, sending 9 test classes to Minion. So it will take some time. So if you know, if you understand how PyTest works, you will be able to understand why it is taking this much time. I'll give the link in the description box as well. I'll suggest go ahead and check that video. Yeah, it generated that properly. So let's see the report. Under the report section itself, you will have one more folder here that is about PyTest. Okay, so line coverage, the initial coverage is the 98%, which is same as this. Not this one. This one almost 95%, couple of a few numbers difference, but it is fine. 98% mutation coverage is 89%. So there is a difference of 9%. So where the difference is, controller DTO are 100%, both are matching. Service class is difference, product service IMPL, see where the problem is. It has problem at certain places. So if you see here, it removed the call to this set create and update and it survived. So that validation is not happening properly. So how to fix this one? I'll suggest to, it's quite intensive task to fix this one. So we should have that understanding. So if I do that quickly, that won't make sense. So if you want to do this exercise, go ahead and check out the mutation testing video, okay, and fix this yourself. So PyTest also. And one more thing, this 89% is quite a good number, 98% and 89%. So that means the quality of unit test cases that it has generated is very good. Okay, usually I have seen when we write our own unit test cases, this is not the number. The number between line coverage and mutation coverage difference is a lot. So but in here we are able to see that means quality of unit test cases is quite good. Maybe the alerts that it is giving, the errors that it is giving, we can ignore that. Okay, but that test case modeling, the best practices, it is following all that. So the quality of the code is good, I can say that. PyTest, and the next is the data persistence into file system with H2DB. So if you see, you might have noticed if you have tried your application, so when you restart your application, your data gets lost every time. But if you do not want to do that one, there is a slight change. Just ask the ChatGPT to help you with that one, the configuration part. You can add more lines to help it, like the more better, the good prompt you give it, the more good result you will get. So database URL, so this property I have to change. Data source URL, mem test db, mem means in memory, but I have to change that to file, h2 file, and I want this in our current path. So I want that test db to be created somewhere in here. So that is why I have created this one. There is one more change that I have to do, data source URL, db name. So I have seen that it creates a problem. So this Hibernate auto DDL auto is create, right? So just remove this one, it is not needed, and start your application. We'll see this in action, whether we are able to persist that or not. So start the application, will interact, will add some product into this one, we'll see the data and see if it is working properly. So first of all, this test db should be created at this location. You see, testdb.mv.dv file is created. So now interact with Postman. Go to Postman. We have this post. So I'm going to make couple of calls here. So product 1, table products not found. Why? Okay, again I did a mistake here. So this or DDL auto, it should be there actually, because the problem is it is not, it won't be able to create. So my bad here, I'll accept that. So that you have this entity and table name, right? So this configuration helps to create those tables. So that is why I got this problem, right? It is trying to insert that into the system, but that data is not there. So if you see H2 console here, localhost 8080s2 console. So remember this mem test db, I have to correct it. So file dot slash connect. See, there are no tables here. Reason? That create ddl create command. Okay, so just restart this again. So refresh this console again, we should be able to see that table. Test db, connect this. Yeah, that products and products images are there. So now interact with this. Send the data. Product 1. Done. I'm seeing this product here, right? So now what I have to do, I have to restart this one. And with this configuration, that file test db that it has created here, I should be able to see that thing again, the data that was there in this product. So I won't add this product from Postman, but we'll see the data directly here. No, I have to connect this again. Products run. Again, it is not showing there. So I know what the problem is. This is ddl auto create. So just change this to update. Okay, not the create but the update. So here because that table was already created, so this test db is also created. So just restart this application. There is two scenarios that I want to try, because test db is already in the system but it created the table automatically by this create configuration. That is why that data is lost, because when you recreate the table, that means existing data will be lost. It is not following that if table is existing, do not create that one. It is not following that one. So if I see this ddl auto update here and refresh this again, so it should have loaded the data from this test db. It is not there because the last instance it recreated. So what I will do, I'll create the data here. I have executed it 2 times, so same product is created 2 times. So 2 IDs I should be able to see that. 2 informations are there. So now what I am going to do, I'll restart this. And this time the data in the table should not be lost. It should be there. Products is there. If you run this one, I'm able to see this one. So if I select for get all products, it should return all the products, right? And if I add one more product there, it should have ID 3. It is giving ID 33, but that's the behavior on restart. There something is happening on the backend, not sure about that, but it is able to add the product. That is the thing. With the ID is not consistent at 1 2 3 because it is generating that automatically. That's the backend thing that is happening, but we are able to see that data. That's what we wanted. So if you stop, we saw that we are able to see that data persisted in the system. Okay, so this part also data persistence, we are also able to do that one. And now SonarLint. SonarLint is the Sonar dashboard is actually, Sonar Cube is for the static analysis code. You have to set up the servers and post these information for the static analysis. But we have one option also here. We can install the SonarLint plugin and do the static analysis of the code in the IDE itself. So what I'm going to do, that I'm going to search for that SonarLint, install it and check that. Marketplace SonarLint, it is not there still into the system, so I'll install it. Maybe it will ask me to restart that IDE. This is very handy to have. SonarLint you must have in your IDE to have a cleaner code. It is installed. It took quite a time, so restart this IDE so that it takes into effect. So IDE restarted. You can see this SonarLint at the bottom in the toolbars here. Okay, let it finish indexing. Yep, indexing is finished. So if you open the SonarLint, it gives the current file by default. So but I want to scan the entire project, so just click on the project, right click on that one, come down. At the bottom you will see the SonarLint, analyze with SonarLint. Yeah, I see that it will take time, but I want you to analyze that. So found 28 issues in 5 files. Let's see one by one. So integration test, remove this public modifier. It is saying that it is not needed in all the test classes, not the source class file, but it has identified that remove this public. So if you double click this one, you will be able to come here. So if you click on this IDE here, SonarLint, remove public modifier. You just have to see this. From all the places, you can just remove it and it will be fixed. So that is not mandatory. So the thing is, like, which is not needed to serve the use case, it should not be there to dirty the code there. That's what the static analysis about. So we can fix this one. The same is for all the test classes. Define a constant service IMPL. Product ID 3 is used, I think, nowhere. That is why it is saying that like it is used more than one places. That is why it is saying that create a constant for this one. So very minor one. Again, it is asking for the public modifier and this one, see. So what is interesting that I am seeing here, all the 5 files, test, only one IMPL is there, that is it is able to identify the issue there. So in terms of code duplicacy, reusability, best code practices, in this small microservice, it is doing that properly. So the code it had generated is of good quality. There is no issue in that one. Minor ones are there, we will be able to fix that one, but there is no security issue, nothing like that. Exception handling, best practices in the code that we are following as per the SonarLint. So we are good with this in this quality parameter. So this video target was basically to check the quality of the code that it had generated. So it is doing very good in that sense. The thing is that you have to be critical about the code and ask it to correct that. So that is the main important thing. So ChatGPT is there to help you, but it won't come automatically to you. You should be able to ask it to do the job that is needed. Then only it will be able to solve your problem. I hope you got some understanding. You are going to use this one in your daily life to make your life easy and prepare the code more better way. That's all about this video. I wanted to show you, I wanted to make you understand about the quality of the code that ChatGPT is generating. If you have any feature in this product microservice that you want to be integrated, just let me know in the comment section. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.